Hello and welcome to another Let's Play. Me, GamerWolfSix of the Smoke Room. Before we start, if you're interested in playing this game, you can get it for free on itch.io. But if you want to support the people that make this game and or get the news version earlier, Patreon, where it's $3 a month. So, on the last Let's Play, we came to Murdoch's place, Murdoch's family's place, to help set up for the wedding and the bachelor party. And his sister Holly, who I initially liked, is acting kinda mean, especially to our good buddy Murdoch. That's not good. Seriously. But yeah, the groom's here, and we're told to keep him busy and stuff like that. So, that's what we're gonna do, as soon as I reset my face. And start. Once we get back inside, the first thing I hear is a booming shout from a door slightly ajar. Oops. Oh, for some reason I clicked on that. Murdoch! It's his father's voice. He glances at the hallway leading to the door first, then the door going downwards. He skips a step when he hears the yell again. Then he sticks his head through the doorway. What? We could use some help down here. Mother says need to deal with the guests. They're grown men and can deal with themselves. Last winter's boxes are all screwed up and everything's in the wrong place. You've been messing around down here? No, Dad. I don't go into the cellar. Well, if it's not you, then it's one of your sisters. Is this really important right now? If words come out of my mouth, they're important. You hear? Now get your ass down here. The hair on his tail sticks up when he looks at the doorway. He gives me a quick look. I'll catch up. Well, what am I supposed to do? Just let him talk. Talk about what? By the time I ask the question, his tail is slipping past the door. It's hard not to groan as I look at the corridor in front of me and shake my head. I hear more voices down the hall. The muscles on my neck tense up a little bit. I remember Holly mentioning over at the dinner that Nell, whoever he is a congressman. I've never met anybody that important before. Closest I've ever gone to is talking to a mayor once. Hope I don't mess up and make him propose some crazy new law. Their voices getting louder as I approach, but I don't want them to see me yet. If we're stuck standing around much longer, I have to look outside to make sure there aren't any people scraping their way across the desert in lifeboats. I don't understand that joke. I do want to mention I did read this before, only 8 minutes of it, but I felt like it was just bad and I was like, yeah, I'll do this another day. But I don't understand that question. The musical voice comes from a broad, stout cat who teeters on his feet as he talks. Such is the way of things, poor Reuben. Now, Reuben, who's that? Oh, Reuben is the cat? So it goes, so it goes. The marbled fox smirks. I'm very familiar with how you like to be quick about things, but I thought medical school would have taught you some discipline by now. The cat surprised me with a sudden burst of uproarious laughter. That makes the tall, thin dog, who I assume is Nell, snort. I wouldn't trust this one with a scalpel until after he's 2 drinks in. I don't understand that. His voice is deep and grim. Your fiancé has a lovely little home, really. Did he say little? My old house growing up used to be about the size of the foyer alone. What is the foyer anyways? Sorry. I gotta go, Sorry, I got distracted by porn. I forgot to close that. I mean, you guys didn't see it, but it was something hot. Like, I was just kind of looking up some things like, oh yeah, that. Okay, a foyer, an entrance hall or open area of a building used by the public, especially in a hotel or theater. And I close the porn so I don't get distracted by yotes. Pity, it seems like we're not going to see the rest of it. The cab wipes his eye and nods profusely. I know you said she runs a tight ship, but it feels more like we're standing at the dock. Oh, Reuben, you don't know the half of it. Got it. I remember standing at a dock once waiting to be picked up. It was in Louisiana, and it sucked, because it was the middle of summer. It was hot, it was humid, and there were horse flies. She's the captain, make no mistake. And what of the husband? Far more than her husband. Frankly, if I had to wager, I'd say he's not doing any of the thrusting in bed. Isn't Jim the fox? Like, I could screw up. Okay, there's Nell Reuben, but he's Jim. Are they talking about someone else? Cheeky thing to say, considering that's going to be your position in a few days. It sounds as if you fancy the image, poor Reuben. Well, I think you could certainly use some humbling. It's called the old ball and chain for a reason, Jim. Tease all you like, but you'll both be sorry if you underestimate me. Murdoch was right. They don't seem much the types who need additional conversation. Works for me. We could just ask that fellow over there for some help. He looks like he's waiting for something to do. Wait, is he talking about me? They could see me this whole time? Standing here? In the foyer? I don't think that would be such a good idea. He's right, you know. If he had something to do, he would be doing it. If he's any good, I mean. Leave him be for now. He'll have his work cut out for him tonight at the party. And what does that mean exactly? Yeah, what does that mean? I think I saw a picture of this and I know what that means. Let's see how our conversation go. How our conversation go a few drinks in. When it goes, print screen. I exhale a breath of relief when I hear Murdoch and Ralph chatting down the hall. Oh, hello. The fox looks up to take and shake each of the men's hands. You know, both the left and the right hand. You must be Neil, and you must be Reuben. I know you've both come a long way to be here. I'm accustomed to traveling often. I can say the same. Though, admittedly, the tumbleweeds are a change of pace. I suppose you wouldn't have those, but there's a bounciness to them that I admire. And we hear you're very bouncy. All three of them laugh. Murdoch clears his throat and then nods. Well, shall I fetch you any drinks? I wonder if he's saying that, Murdoch is also gay. It is again surprising that I know this is a gay furry game, but still. Well, gay and a furry game, but still. There's a lot of gayness going around. Or at least bisexuality. Sorry, I had to yawn, because it's, late. Oh, yeah. Oh, no, wait, it's still at the 8-minute mark. Huh. Even though I read better, it still read the same. Let's reset my face, just in case. Are they not being put to use? Nell gestures to me, then to Ralph. Ah, the groundskeeper is not present. But this is Sam, one of the stalkers at the general store. I nod, decide not to speak. And this is Ralph, who is my childhood friend. Did you really think I was going to serve you a slice of sausage on a stick or something? It do be like that, sausage on a stick. He glances over at Ralph from bottom to top. Okay, he's Ralph. My mistake. Murdoch gives Ralph a look that says, please do not speak it out loud. What, that they think he's the server that's all these gay innuendos going to boot? Hold the drinks for now. There's plenty of them where we're going. Agreed. Remember, kids, don't drink. You could develop alcoholism, and that's terrible. I walk to the hip, The walk to the hip is whatever the opposite of an awkward silence is. The three men chat among themselves as tight as brothers. They don't make any attempts to pause or ask Ralph or Murdoch or myself any such thing. I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for that for my sake alone. But when the doctor brings up astronomy, or the congressman brings up film, I can tell the fox wants to jump in. It sours me some. There's a small crowd hovering outside the hip, which tells me that the inside is going to be packed. When we step inside, I can see that I'm right. The hip is close to full on a weekday evening. Looks like the whole staff is on deck. They brought out the white linens and candles from the tables tonight. Harlan is talking fast with a crowd of men asking for drinks. Waitress carrying hot bowls of sizzling dishes scurry back and forth to each end of the dining area, pushing trolleys full of shining containers. Hard to think that this is the same place where I sleep day in and day out, considering what's going on. What's stranger is the person walking up to me with a notebook in her hand. Oh, Cynthia. Good evening, gentlemen. Table for 5? 6. She looks them over, then stops at me with a slightly confused look on her face. I think she's staring at the suit I'm wearing. We're packed tightly tonight, but I can squeeze you all in somewhere. We have a reservation. She looks us all over again. I see. There's wine and dine situation. Wait, the wine and dine situation is first come, first serve. So it goes. So it goes. I apologize for any misunderstandings. I presume you booked a room for upstairs then? That was my intention. Your surname? Surname is Sterling. Cynthia flips through the papers, and her brow lifts a bit. I see. Easily done. You have a few hours before everything's ready. There's an open table by the window. Let's be on our way then. It's pretty clear that he's talking to It's pretty clear that he's talking to just the new folks. What does he mean? Before you go, could I borrow him for a moment? Jim shrugs and gestures. It's no business of mine. I'll return him shortly. I was about to say, it's like, doesn't he know that I work here? It's like, oh right, we sucked him off here. For pay. She pulls me into one of the staff washrooms. You look expensive. Are they gangsters? No. I don't actually know that. At least, they aren't to my knowledge. There's a wedding tomorrow. Oh. I love weddings. I don't think you'd care much for this one. I'm assuming the groom is the one who didn't book for the smoke room. You didn't book for the smoke room. You didn't book for the smoke room? 1? Wait. Cynthia, how many people am I booked for tonight? The note says 4 at once. I'm reeling a little bit. 4? Murdoch is barely keeping it together with one man. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Is Murdoch supposed to be another person we're having sex with? I guess that's the plan. I don't know what 3 would do to him. I briefly find it funny that Ralph clearly wasn't paid for, but it's no surprise considering the direction that conversation would go. What a mess. Don't you mean a blessing? 4 for 1 booking is just about quadrupled your rate for a night. The groom is involved. She tilts her head. Oh. So is somebody who I think won't want to be involved. I could take him for the night. He'd have to pay me, of course. I don't think that idea would work in this case. I'll break it to him and let him decide. That's generally how these things get resolved. I nod and part ways with her, find my way to Jim's table. Oh, Cynthia, I want to hug you. Once I take my seat, the noise of the piano picks up. One of the waitresses brings us a flagon of water and cups. Really now. No dinner reservations? I suppose that's the countryside for you. Jim whistles. There's a charm enough if you know where to look. The gay sex, I mean. His eyes flick to me and to Murdoch for a moment. See what I told you? Wait, he's whooped already. Oh, that he's getting the gay sex here. Poor boy's gone local. You acquire a bit of wanderlust when you choose to go outside. You should try it sometime when he's not stitching bodies together. And he's not in the office thinking up new taxes to draft. Man, a politician making new taxes? Yeah, whew. Amazing. Things were different back in the early 1900s. I touch a good deal of healthy bodies in the city. We have beds aplenty, and don't have to make do with hay bales. Pardon my interruption, but I'm very curious. Has a single one of you been inside of a barn in your life? Can't say I know the pleasure. My father owns a horse barn. It's kind of weird to me that this universe... Okay, there's horsemen, but then there's donkeys, but then there's now horse barns? For feral horses? Are there feral rats and foxes and stuff too? I'm gonna have to ask that. I'm actually very curious. And also, as I'm tilting my head on a boot, reset. Actually, it's pretty good. The moment I look away from face, Ricky goes all wonky. My father owns a horse barn. So he had to shovel the shit and everything? That's what the staff is for. Right. So we can agree that you all have your hands as smooth as a baby's bare cheek. The cat snorts while sipping his water, while Jim and Neil glance at one another, then back to the rat. Let's hear your background then. Whatever you'd like to know. What does a Southlander do spending his days tucked away in Emma country? Pharmacology. Really now. Reuben here might like the pill-pushing talk, but I hope we can change the subject. Funny job for a Southlander. Ralph swirled his glass? Swirled. So is a Southlander like somebody from the south? Or maybe like central south? I don't know. Funny how. Surely, a nation built from criminals has all sorts of uses for men in pharmaceutical business. So wait, are they talking about like Australia? I can't exactly remember Ralph's background. Too true. They teach us how to process and identify all substances known to man. If you make enough friends like me, then you can recoup all the coke you need for your friends south of the border after Harrison anti-drug passed. Huh. Now wait. When did they make Coke illegal anyways? Because I know it's like in Coca-Cola, you know? Coca-Cola and various other things. Neil chuffed and put his glass down the table. Reuben was roaring with laughter. He's got you by the balls there. I wasn't aware that the tabloids made it all the way out to the boonies. Oh, certainly. We had 2 presses, if you would believe, before one got burned down. Telephones and electricity, too. We don't want to make it too frightful out here for city folk like you. They got you wrapped up in a scandal, Neil? Now, there's a hot-blooded Nell I used to know. I really have been missing out. Now, Nell stared sternly, lips curling up, as he finished another jug of water. Man, he's chugging that water. Then the bottom of his glass thudded against the table. Baseless accusations, of course. They couldn't make up enough lies about me to take me to court. Jim snarled dramatically, or sighed. I can read, though maybe I should do more pausing. Dusty, dutiful no. If I figured you'd insist upon going by the books. Nell plucked a pipe from his pocket, carefully stuffed a bit of tobacco into the end, put it to his mouth, and lit it. You sound disappointed to hear that. Seems pointless to be a sender if you don't get caught up in a scandal or two. Perhaps that's why I enact legislation and you study rocks, good old boy. Can't say I know the pleasure. We keep our noses clean enough. Especially if they never catch you, eh? Why not? After all, that seems to be the fantasy you want to entertain. Ralph, behave. Come now, I'm just another performer providing tonight's entertainment. He makes a gesture at Reuben, who's in tears from laughing so hard, and Jim, who's wearing an undeniable smirk. As if on Ralph's cue, the piano picked up. The performer I've never seen before takes the stage and starts to sing. She's pretty good, but the crowd is still talking amongst themselves, barely listening. Most of the audience members paying attention have their eyes set on the backup dancers joining the stage. They aren't exactly wearing much. Flowing dresses with slips that show off a lot of leg. Nell leans forward in his seat. Finally, something easy on the eyes. Well, they're certainly women. Most certainly are. The cat's leaning forward too. What's the matter now? Are you saying our party isn't fair enough for you? It's fair enough for a party that serves only sausage, if you get my drift. Perhaps all meat has flavor, if you get my drift. I suppose if you lived in a place like this, you'd be desperate enough to think so. I have never seen more men in this country than my days in service, and that's quite a feat. For the fattest wallets will empty quick enough if you're surviving on showgirls. Poor, proud Nell. We've shared girls before. Surely you weren't thinking about just her in those hasty moments. Scoundrel. I welcome the insult. I haven't even had my first drink yet. Then what'll it be? Let's have a look at their strongest gin. And what are you in the mood for, Reuben? To drink or to slip into? Whichever you prefer to answer. Any port in a storm, right? But to answer both, something smooth. I'll be right back. I think I need to get some air. He looks a little queasy. You're a bit off. Maybe take it easy on the drinks. I think I could use a break from all this too. Me too. Don't go far. He looks at the rat. Do you need to join them? Not at all. I'm very comfortable right now. That's great to hear. I hear the voices fading as I follow Murdoch in Murdoch's big tail through the crowd of people. Now that I think on it, I think I know exactly the right topic for this bachelor party. Sausages? And what's that? Religion! I follow him until he runs into a wall of people and can barely walk. So I tug in his tail to get his attention. Yeah, we got a little bit of time, I think. He flinches and swirls around, then breathes in relief when he sees me. You want me to head up to my room? No, you want to head up to my room? It's quiet there. He nods, and I lead him up the stairs. Yeah, we've been here before. When inside the room, he exhales. I saw you talking to that woman you work with. He starts pacing. Did she say he booked you? I nod. That she did. Of course he would. Of course he would. He stops pacing for a moment and looks at me. And, no wait, you and him? And who else? And his two buddies. I rub the back of my head. And you too. He nods and sits on my bed with a thud. Then he scratches beneath the fur of his head, aggressively. You don't look so good. I open the jar to take out one of my cigarettes. So then, how do I fix this? The lighter is cold to the touch as I flick it. It's good sometimes that you don't. He shakes his head. Not tonight. Or the next one either, I reckon. That's Holly's wedding. And then it's the busiest day at the store. And then it's picture day. Funny how it's always something, ain't it? He shrugged. Why is that your problem all of a sudden? I shrugged back. Because you're sort of my boss in a way, aren't you? Hard to get paid if you keel over. The boss is my dad, Sam. I'm just the assistant manager. Don't think I'd be around too long if you weren't calling some of the shots. He looks in the mirror and ricks his claws through his fur on his head. When the whole lot of us are in town, I'm not going to have to do these things anymore. You'll see. So you're saying it's only temporary? Yeah. I laugh. What? Nothing. It's clearly something. It's just that you sound more and more like me each day. That's supposed to be a compliment? Not really. You really know how to sweet talk a guy. Whoring ain't all about sweet talk. It's about doing what needs to be done and getting paid. Who says I have any interest in whoring? You're already doing it. I'm not. Do you really want to fuck all those men downstairs? Well, he looks down. Why wouldn't I? Because they're complete strangers, and you don't know what they're after. This isn't like some kind of weird future scenario, like you're going on Grindr or something, or Growler. Actually, I guess Growler is an actual app, but anyways. Fucking strange men? Men would never do that. Anyways. If you come into this room with them, and they want you to do something, you'll have to do it. Clients get angry when they don't get what they want. They're not my clients. There's something you want from them, don't you? It's not that simple. It's a clustered, messy mix of a lot of things. If you're fucking for something other than love or pleasure, that's whoring. Plain and simple. It do be like that sometimes. He holds my Vandy and looks straight into the mirror. I suppose you have a point. Do you get it now? He nods slowly. Yeah. So, are you still gonna go through with it all? He rolls his neck and bites his lip. I think that I should. Can you live with that? He looks at me. How do you? I chuckle. Not very well. He laughs too. You know, I used to fuck a whole lot more. For love and pleasure? Pleasure, at the very least. Love was always harder. It do be like that. You ever loved somebody? I used to love Ralph. He loved me too, in his ways. Then, what happened? After my brother died, he left for school. He came back, didn't he? 12 years later. I shrug. You both still seem close. When somebody's your best friend, it seems like you can pass by all the days in the universe, then pick up with them like no time has passed at all. Except it did, and now you're both different. You both want different things than you did before, and then you become strangers again without even knowing it. I don't think we want the same kind of life. So, what kind of life do you want? Something a little more glamorous than a shopkeep, and a little less stuffy than a chamber musician. Chamber musician? He looks at me, smiling weakly. Why? Do you think I'd make a good whore? I think you already do. I'm not joking. He raps his knuckles against the wood. Sex used to be the one thing in life that I wouldn't let work or my family touch. And now it's both, I guess? It's apparent to me now that I wouldn't even do that at the end of the day. Only now, you can say that if somebody wants to fuck you, they have to pay. No more free rides when the job's a job. He exhales. Can I make up my mind about it later? Just do what you have to do. I just want to know. Are you gonna show up in this room tonight? Yeah. I have a job to do. Alright. That gives me enough to think about. I just have one request. And what's that? Can I have a real kiss before you do any of this? Something just for me. I don't know what to say. Business aside, this is going to be a bad night for him. But I don't want to kiss him out of pity. That would be far too cruel. Do you really think you'd be prepared to live with the same kind of life that I do? Just based on how you handle what you already have to handle. And to follow wherever it goes? Well, I really don't know. You really can't tell what a road is like until you've walked it. Think for a second. The life I live is selfish. So, what if it is? Because I don't think you have a selfish bone in your body. And that's a problem for me. Why do I need to be selfish to care about you? 'Cause I don't want to be responsible for you curling up to die. You've known me, what? A week? There's tears in his eyes. So, why do you think I'm good enough for you? Because I think you are. Listen to me. I know that you know what I did. His eyes widen and tears flow faster. Do you really want to miss somebody who's gonna be gone? I'm already talking with you like you're gone. I watched you and waited for you so long. And now that I get to talk to you, it's like you've already decided that you're gone. But you're not gone. I can see you. I can touch you. I can hear you. But what happens when somebody comes for me? I'm stupid and I'm sloppy. If it isn't the sheriff who comes for me, it'll be somebody else. Sooner or later, I'm gonna have to get out of this town. Or else I'm gonna be buried here. And soon. Then that's what we'll do. That's what who will do. You'll come with me when Jim gets us out of town. I blink. No offense, but do you really want to rely on a guy like that to help us? Who's Jim again? Is Jim the Fox? Ugh, I wish I had a character list with me. It's one thing that won't make you look like you're running away, is it? Suppose so. I'll tell you what. If you don't kiss me tonight, I'll accept that my feelings aren't real. It will hurt, but I'll promise to live. I heard his pounding my chest. Part of me wants to touch him, to smooth down his ears and hold his head as I stick my tongue down his throat. But I'm not going to break him. He's been battered so much, and gets back up every time. But who's gonna be the last one to do it? Not me. No, not me. Can I surprise you on the off chance that I decide to? Yeah, that's good. No promises, though. I never expect those anymore, really. Good. Now then, you want to ditch this party with me? I thought you were going to say you're going to be in your room for. Wait, I thought you were going to be in your room for them. Sure did, but that's hours away, and sure as shit, ain't nobody paying for me to attend a goddamn bachelor party. If we did, we'd have to distract them so they wouldn't notice us gone for long. My friend Cynthia is an expert at diversions. Let me see what I can arrange. And I think with that, and us being overtime, it's a good time to call it. Boop. It's kind of weird. I was like, oh yeah, we're going to be playing this for a little bit so I can get through its entire route, because I didn't think it would be that long, and I don't know how long it is. I don't know what the stop point is. I know that there's at least one more scene that happens, but yeah, it's like, I've got 37 going on 38 videos after this week's videos can be posted. You know, not for you guys, because this was posted now for you, but this is going to be posted, 38 weeks into the future. But then there's other Let's Play series that are quite a bit low, like one is 15 weeks for me to fill up, and sorry, I got the hiccups. I need to think about what to post there. Oh, whoa. It's going to be a lot of that, and I still have Sugar Lane and Sileo to do. And then there's also the other Echo routes and Dawn Chorus. I've had a lot of smoke rooms. Oh, maybe I could hold off on this stuff of us sneaking out for a bachelor party. Oh yeah, and this Let's Play, so comment, cause I like comments. Tell me what you like, dislike, tips, tricks, otherwise. If you like my YouTube and likes it, girl, then please like, subscribe, and check out the video step it. Girl, and please remember to spay your ammo set, control the pit population. And until next time, on another Let's Play, me, GamerWolfSix of the Smoke Room. Oh, and if you want to play this game free on the channel, or $3 a month on Patreon. Anyways, thanks and see ya.